Tuples in Python, a very important part of the data structures in Python. We have explored all about list. Now let's jump into tuple. So tuples are basically the read-only list, and they are denoted by round brackets. And the thing is, they are sort of default in Python. So when you are in Python and you declare anything with a comma separation, by default it will be generated as tuple. Now, tuple, as you can see, they are ordered, like they will maintain the order in which you have added the elements. They are immutable. Once you have specified a tuple, you have given, like you have done writing a tuple, they will no longer, you cannot mutate it anymore. They cannot be changed. Yeah, they can be accessed, but you cannot, they are not editable at all. Then they are heterogeneous. So, tuple can store an integer, a string, a boolean together. So a simple example of tuple here is my tuple 1, 2, 3 apple banana. So very important one, like when you want the order of the data should not change across the application, tuple is your go-to data structure element. Most of the cases you start with a tuple, and if need be, you shift it to a list. So how about we jump in and explore the tuple? Now let's try to write a value for a tuple. How will we do that? So tuples are, as we discussed, they are denoted using a round bracket. So let me create a tuple called as point, and my point is equal to, you can just say x and y. So that is like 1 and 2. So this is a tuple, and just to specify, I will say print. The type of method will give like what is my point here. Let's try to execute this and see this. So I will just shift to, yeah. So it says it is of class tuple. Now, what are multiple ways? As I said, if you just say point is equal to 1, 2, even by default, if you write something as comma separate, so this will simply say point type of point is what? Again, this will say the second one is tuple. In fact, let us print it out as well. Print the point here first, and print the point here as well. So this way, it is giving me, see, even when I do this, it is saying point 1, point 2. And other way of defining a tuple is what? If I say point is equal to 1 comma, and if I do the same thing, so this is a single element tuple as well. So see, even that becomes a single element tuple. So by default, it will point out to tuple. Now, next, what are the various operations you can do with tuple? For example, you want to add two tuple. So let's say tuple 1 is equal to 1 comma 2. Tuple 2 is equal to 3 comma 4. Then I do tuple 3 is equal to tuple 1 plus tuple 2. And if I print tuple 3 now, let's see what happens. If I execute this, see, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say I want ones for 10 times. So I'll do what? 1 comma multiplied by 10. And if I print, obviously this will be a tuple, and this ones will become 1, 1, 1. So it will become for 10 times. You can do the same thing with strings as well. So let's say CWZ is my acronym. So I say in my tuple CWZ, and if I multiply that by 4, and I print it now. So CWZ, this way you see, yeah, no, it is not tuple. I have to do it comma separation. This was already a string. See, now it has to be a comma separated whenever you write it in a tuple. So this is a simple way how you write a tuple, and what are the various operations like addition, multiplication operations you can do with tuple. So next, let us explore packing and unpacking in a tuple. Now you have seen the concept of packing and unpacking during the list time. I will share the list in the window. Now consider you have, let's say, I want to create a packed tuple. Okay. So is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. And now if I do print type, of packed tuple and print packed tuple. So this time, what will happen is, see, it is giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, and its type is also as what, tuple. So this is where we are packing the element. Let's say I have point 3D, which is a three-dimensional point, and I say 3, 6, 9, which is a three-dimensional point actually, and I want to unpack it. So how will I do that? X axis, Y axis, Z axis is equal to point 3D. So now if you say print X from this one is X, and then I do Y here for Y, and then I have got Z here for Z. Okay. So if I try to execute this now, so it is 3, 6, and 9. This is how we do unpacking in a tuple. So here let us focus on accessing the elements in tuple. Okay. Accessing the elements in tuple. Here what we do is, let's say we already have a point object, right? But I'll just define it again. It's, let's say, point 1, 2, 3, then 2, 3, 4, and 6 and 7. Now here they are on zero based index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want to access, I can say print point of 2 or 2. Yeah. So what should I expect here? The output should be 3. So let's see what it is, 3. So at index 2, the element is what? 3. At index 2 point, the element should be 3. Why? Because you have seen that in the tuple that index 2 element is 3. Apart from that, if you want to figure out its, let's say, range access, how will you do that? So let's say range access, and here I have got point of 0 to 3. So again, what it will print, it is like 0 to 3. If you see the third index, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But whenever you do point range access, the last element is considered from 1 based. So here it is 1, 2, and 3. That is why your range comes is at 1, 2, 3 in the initial point. Okay. Another way, there is a function of let's say index 4, but this time I will say point dot index of 4. Let's see how it works. So here it is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the value at 4 is also 4. So that's how you access the element. Now you want to find out how many threes are there in this. So it's not a count access element, but instead in let's of count of 3 is how much. So here I will say point dot count for 3. How many times 3 is repeating in this? We have to check that out. So it says, see, 3 is repeating for 2 times. So that is how you access the elements in a tuple. Now what will happen if I try to make changes to a tuple? Yeah, make changes to a tuple. So here, if I say point of 1 is equal to 6. So if I try to do this, let's see what happens. It says tuple object is not supported. The type, it is not supported at all. It simply says that tuple object does not support the item assignment. This is the error we will get. So I will putting this error as a comment, and yeah, so you cannot update a value or cannot edit a value inside a tuple. That is how you will have to work with a tuple. So we have covered a lot of things here. Thank you for watching this video, and share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel, and you can find all these codes on the Git repo. Thank you.